Hi, welcome to Unit 5. Sorry it's taken me so long to get this video out, but we can decide if I need to change your due date for this. Let me just go over everything, and then you guys can email me or I'll email you and we'll talk about the due date. So we're moving into a new unit, Unit 5, and this is where you're going to start practicing writing lesson plans. So it's very important that you really take your time and look over the lesson handout, read all of this, because these are the 5 stages of writing a lesson plan and planning lessons. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to take a lesson from your Project Wild book and break it down into the 5 E's, and you're going to put it into a inspiration document. Luckily for you, the inspiration document, there's a template ready. So for the example, we're going to look at page 208 in your lesson, in your book, and then you're going to look at this example. And here it is. So basically this is the Project Wild book, page 208, and you're going to rewrite the objective. You're going to look at the method of teaching, how you're going to teach it, if you were teaching, and then the materials that you would need. Okay, then we have the 5 E's broken down. Then that lesson, you look at that lesson and you look under the engage. What part of it goes with engage? What part of that lesson goes to the explore, and etc. Okay, I'm going to kind of toggle back over here, and here are the 5 E's here. Okay, so there's a good explanation of what each one stands for. This is definitely going to take some reading, and make sure you look at the description and what the teacher does. Okay, if you don't have a good grasp on this, you're not going to get the lesson. Okay, for more help of understanding the 5E model, look at this little YouTube video for STEM scopes. Here, this PDF is excellent to look at for a good description of the 5 E's. Okay. Now, also take a look at page 208 and look at this, and just use this as a guide. Okay. Okay, the lesson plan map. So what you're going to do is you're going to download this template. Let me download it right now, because you're going to see it and it's totally blank. Okay, so here is the template. I open this in Inspiration. You are going to pick a lesson from your Project Wild or the Project Learning Tree guide, and you are going to break down that lesson, and you are going to put the objective, put the method, put the materials, and then you're going to break down the 5 E's just like the example of the wildlife coin lesson. Okay? Do your best to break it down and put it in the map. Okay? Don't stress about it. Just do your best. We're in our future units, Unit 6 and 7, we're going to look at that a little bit more. I do want to point out there are 2 links right here that are worth looking at. Definitely you need to look at this website right here, and it talks about teaching methods. So you really need to look at those here too. Okay, now the instructions for the graphic novel. A graphic novel, all you're going to be doing is making a little comic strip. Okay, now the directions are a little bit different because the website has updated since these instructions were written. But you guys are college students. You need to work through some problems, but I'm going to show it to you a little bit. So here's the website, pinkston.com. You can click on Fun right here, then you click on Login. Everybody already has a Google account, so it would be easy if you just clicked on Login with Google, and I've already logged in, so I'm already here. Okay, these are some things that were already made, and I'm going to go to my creations, and I just made a comic right here. It has nothing to do with the lesson because I just wanted to show you how to do the embedding onto your website. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here to my Google site. Here it is, and this is just the example template, but I did go over here to the Engage, and see how I have this embedded in here. Well, you're going to have to embed your graphic novel here. Okay, before I get into how to embed, you're probably thinking, well, what do I have to put in my graphic novel? What is it about? And basically, the instructions just say you will create a short novel, which is a comic, that provides an overview of your selected lesson. Okay? Think of it, since this is just an overview of what you're doing, think about something that you could show in your classroom about your lesson. If you're doing something on the wildlife coins, maybe you could have it take place in a museum and your characters could be talking about the coins. Just be creative. Don't overthink it. Just do the best that you can, okay? There's edit options that lets you do a speech bubble, backgrounds. Have fun with it. It's actually a fun activity, okay? And remember that it provides an overview of your selected lessons. It has to have at least 2 rows, okay? Now, the example that I made for you, it's just basically I wanted to show you how to embed, okay? So, and I've named it Test for Embedding, okay? And what I've done is I've already published it, okay? So, I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go here to Edit Settings, Save Changes. Okay. When I'm on this page right here, you have to get the embed code, okay? The embed code, anytime you see these little carrots right here, that means embed, okay? You're not going to be copying this link. This is just the link. You want to get the embed code. So you go to here, and then you can click on it. Actually, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back here. And it's all highlighted, and then you're going to right click and copy it. So now you have the embed code. Okay. After you're done embedding, it's going to look like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it and then put it back on so you can see how to do it. So you're on your Engage page. Okay. You're going to click on the Edit page. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this Google Gadget. Okay, this is what it's going to look like when it's in there, but I'm going to delete it so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I have my cursor here, and now what I'm going to do is go to Insert and More Gadgets. Okay, and right here I'm just going to put in a search, E-M-B-E-D, for embed. Whoops, it didn't go in there, sorry. Embed, because I want the embed gadget. Then I'm going to click on the search, and there's the embed gadget there. Click on it, and I'm going to select it. Come on. Okay, well, it looks like I've run into a problem. So I am running Windows 8, and sometimes there's problems with Windows 8. So one thing I'm going to try to do is try a different browser. So I'm going to click out of here, and I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to go to Chrome, and I'm going to see if the embedding will work with Chrome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is log in to my oops, wrong password. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to search for sites, and this better work. Okay, so here we go, back into Engage. I took that out. Now I'm going to go back to my edit page, and now I'm going to click here, so my cursor is here, and I'm going to insert. I'm going to look for my gadgets, and I'm going to put embed, search, embed gadget. There we go. Sometimes just changing a browser can fix. So I've already copied it, so let's see if I can paste it. So there it goes, and I'm just going to say OK. Now, when you look at it here, you don't see your comic. That is fine. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to press save. Give it some time, let your page refresh, and you should be able to see the gadget. Yesterday when I did it for the first time, I was very frustrated because this was showing up and I was refreshing, going back into it, it didn't show up. Later on, when I logged into it a couple hours later, the comic was there. So don't get frustrated with it, just don't stress. Okay, I'm going to get out of this browser for a second. I'm going to go back to my website over here. Sorry. And let's see if it's here. There it is. There's my gadget. Okay, there's my comic right there. Okay, so even though it didn't show up right away on Chrome, sometimes it does take a little while. So let me refresh this page and see if it shows up over here. See, so this is just to prove that sometimes you have to switch browsers. When you're embedding things on websites, it can get very frustrating. I will give you that, but I just gave you a couple solutions, and you see just by going back to Internet Explorer and going to my website, I can see that it is actually here. Okay? So make sure also for the Engage that it says replace this placeholder with the 2 to 3 sentences that explain the relationship between the contents of the technology artifact and the lesson objective. The technology artifact is your comic, okay? So you write 3 sentences about how does this comic, this graphic novel, match your lesson objective, okay? The other thing you're going to have to do you're going to have to put in a PNG, which is a picture file of your lesson plan map, okay? This is what I'm talking about.
I hope I did this right.
So here is the lesson plan map. Okay, and once you have it all filled in, you are going to go to File, Export, and you want to change the file format to a graphics file. You can pick JPEG or PNG. Actually, PNG is good. And then you want to uncheck this because you do not want to have a transparent background. You want to have a white background. Then you're going to click Save. And you have to know where did I save it to. So make sure you know where you save it. I'm going to save mine at the desktop. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to change my name to it to Unit 5 so I know what it is. Save. Okay, so if I minimize all of this, I go to my desktop and now I have a PNG that I can now insert into my web page. And I think I'll just go ahead and demonstrate that. Find my web page and I have it closed out. So I am going to go to Google and go to my site again. Notice I'm clicking Show All Content, and there's my gadget. I'm going to edit my page, and then it also says to insert the PNG of your lesson plan map. And notice I put my cursor down here underneath my gadget, and I'm going to go to Insert Image, and I am going to go to my desktop and get my Inspiration Unit 5 open. And say OK. Look, now it's inserted. Don't add it as an attachment. You need to make sure it's showing. Okay, so when I save, there's my comic, and there is my inspiration map. Now, if this is bugging you that you have to move this over back and forth like this, we can go back to the edit page and we can change the properties. We can make it, let's try 600 pixels width. Okay, and we are going to say OK. Now it's a little bit wider. So now if I save it, there it is. And there, now the whole thing fits. If you want it wider, you have to change the pixels. This is 400, the original one was 400, this one is 600. So you can make it wider if you want to. And there's my image. And then I have to, using the attachment link below, attach the technology artifact. I think that needs to be taken off the instructions. Let me just double check here. And let's see if there is another artifact. No. Okay, there is no original inspiration. Okay, yes. So then in addition to you exporting your PNG file of inspiration, you can also, as an attachment, load that inspiration. Okay, and if you're wondering, why do I have to do this? Well, you're learning, and you're learning how to work with websites, and you're learning how to add attachments, you're learning how to add images, you're learning how to embed. So that's why you're having to do that. Okay, I did want to also point out that I updated these instructions right here for the Pixel. So for the Pinkston. And so this has been changed so it's a little bit more user friendly. You guys should already be done with discussion 2. Make sure you're doing your weekly reflection blog. And let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. So make sure that you're looking at these things too. And if you need the coursework tutorials, make sure you look at that. There is not anything in there for the Pinkston, so you're going to have to really read these directions and just kind of play with it. And I think that's all I have for you this week. As far as the due date, I'm going to keep the due date on Monday. If you're having a really hard time and you need an extra day, just submit it, and but email me and we'll work something out. But I really don't want to get behind. So in the future, I'll try to have the movies a little bit faster. Thank you. Good luck.